created a piano loop, very simple progression, kind of a climbing progression in the key of D, starting on B minor, goes to A over C sharp, then to D sus, to D, to E minor, to D over F sharp, and then kind of a G with a sharp 4, to G to G2, to G, okay? And that's the progression, that's the whole progression. And what I'm doing is basically just picking out notes in each one of those chords that works. I'm in the key of D. If I know all the notes in the D scale at the neck, I've got about a 50-50 chance that whatever note I play is going to work over any of those chords, since they're all within the key of D. So if for example, the first chord is B minor, if I hit D, that's going to work. If I hit F sharp, that's going to work. And if I hit B, that's where it's important to know music theory. I think I've done some music theory. I'm going to do some triad theory lessons, I think, soon. I think that would be helpful. Almost a hard thing to teach on video, but I'm going to give it a shot. But for now, just try to learn the notes in every chord. It's every triad, you know, the majors and minors. Start there. There's 12 major chords and there's 12 minor chords. You start there and you've got a really good foundation. But even so, if I was wrong and I happen to hit an E instead of a D over this chord, I can resolve it down to the B, or I could resolve it up to the F sharp. Basically, if the note's not working, you can go either up or down and within the scale, and either one of those notes is going to work just fine, almost without fail. There's maybe a couple exceptions. If you're on, like over the A chord, if you were on an F sharp, if you go up to the G, you're going to create an A7 chord. May not be what you want. It's better to take that F sharp down to the E. But other than that, most of the chords you're going to be able to just, if you're off one, you're going to be able to just kind of fudge it a little bit and get back in the right harmony. Okay, now what did I do there? I'm going to put my delay back on, and again, just a review. I've got delay, lots of delay, stereo delay, both sides. I've got chorus, also kind of stereo effect, and reverb, which is also another stereo effect. So it's a lot of stuff going on. I've also got a compressor on too. So there's a lot of stuff going on. If I were just to hit a chord with everything with my volume pedal toe down, it sounds like that. But if I hit that same chord and pedal it in, heel to toe, with my volume pedal, now you're talking just a real nice swell. And so with this though, because the piano was playing pretty full chords, I played octaves in the left hand and triads in the right hand. Because of that, I just thought, you know, it sounded better just to do one note. And I'm just kind of climbing up and following. And I was on my neck pickup, so I was just going up to the scale, kind of following the melody of the chord progression. F sharp to G, A, and then C sharp to B to A to G. And then what I did was, at the end of that G note, I slid down and then pedaled in another D. Okay? My pedal's kind of noisy. Sorry about that. But it needs to be oiled. You can hear that, how you hear that effect of, you can hear all the delays now. That's the first time you've noticed the delays. Now it just sounds like a sustained note. The great thing about, that I didn't mention in the previous video, the great thing about swells and having all these delays and using the volume pedal to swell in these chords, it's a lot like having a pedal, a sustained pedal on a piano. I've always envied that with piano players. Guitar players all do, where they can hit a chord, any chord, you know, any complex chord they want, hit it and hold down the pedal, and then they can kind of get their hands hovering over the next chord, and as soon as they hit that chord, they let up the pedal and then push it down again, and now that chord's ringing. They don't actually have to have their hands on the piano very much. But for us to get that kind of sustain on guitar, you really have to plan and have the next chord be right there or move very quickly up and down the neck. So with this, with swells, with the delays in the volume pedal, and really that's all you need. The chorus and the reverb are just ear candy. I'll turn those off, and with just the delay and a volume pedal, and of course I'm using my tremolo arm to create a chorus effect. get the same thing now. The other thing I could do is I could go to maybe the bridge pickup and play up an octave, the same thing. I'm just sliding back and forth. I went to my neck pickup and I turned the tone off to get kind of a dark, kind of a synthy mini moog sound from the 70s. With that delay, it just really kind of sounds cool to have. Okay, and I can put the chorus back on, the reverb back on, and get a bigger sound. But without the delay, it would just sound like this. Get the delay in there and pedal it in, and it kind of has this cool mini moog sound. It just reminds me of the 70s or something. But let's see, what else can we do? Okay, I'll show you this little trick. This has nothing to do with harmonic knowledge at all, so anyone can do this trick. But well, all I'm going to do is I'm going to tap the strings, the top couple strings, maybe top 3 strings with my pick, and I'm going to stay to the left of the bridge pickup. So I've got the bridge pickup on, treble on, everything, and I'm just going to click these things, and it's going to sound like this. It's like a electronic rain stick. Okay, so with the track. Kind of silly, I know, but in the right moment it actually is pretty cool. And there's a lot of things you can do like that with this sound going on. Another thing I would suggest that you do, I learned this from Carl Verheyen, is that you learn maybe some of the notes on your pickups. Now this note isn't really, it's out of tune, it's not really an F, but this one here is really cool. Is a C sharp, way up there on my middle pickup. So for example, on that G, this chord, I could go up to this note if I wanted to get an octave above that. The other thing you could work on is maybe doing harmonics. Okay. And the right chord, like for example for B minor, I could do these 7th fret, climbs up to A. I don't really have anything I can do there. The D sus, I could do a G thing, and then go to. I could do a D thing right there on the 7th fret, and then when it goes to E minor, I could do the 5th fret and get the E minor 7, or go to the 12th fret. So check this out. I'll do some harmonics here. You can hear that. Sustained note. You know, just play a D all the way through there, and kind of create this kind of pseudo, not a pedal tone, but the opposite, kind of a drone tone on top. Anyway, just some ideas, harmonic ideas over a progression. One of the things that you wouldn't be able to do, like swells on, would be a progression that's moving too fast, because you're going to have notes hanging over into chords where the notes don't fit. And the other thing you probably wouldn't be able to play over is something that's chromatic. So for example, just be crazy, but like if it was F major, E major, E flat major, and D major, you know, so it'd be something like that, would sound really kind of, I don't know, an ominous with the swells. With all those notes hanging out, it creates these clusters, which might be kind of cool, maybe what you're looking for. You know, some clusters or something, but not generally you're going to be able to use that. So in a song that's too chromatic, maybe too jazzy, you might not be able to get away with using swells. A slower tune with a fairly simple progression, and it can create a really nice bed, especially if you don't have a synth player or something. You want to be able to kind of create that effect that there's a keyboard player in the band. It's a great tool. Okay, hope that helps. God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.